Hey everybody, welcome back to another drawing tutorial. So today we're going to be doing Dabi from My Hero Academia. Just wanted to do a bit of an updated one because the recent chapter with Dabi in it was really good. So it's a portrait of him. I'm on a landscape orientation page, but it's a portrait of Dabi, and we got his hand with some of his blue flame coming out of the fingertips. So I have an older picture of Dabi and doesn't have blue flame or anything. You can check that out if you wanted. Pretty similar to this one, slightly different. But same idea. Anyway, enough talk. So his eyes are about along the halfway line of my page, okay? Use a pencil. Hit pause if I go too fast. Don't know if I said that already. But right, let's go. So center point, just come over to the right a little bit. And we'll do a pretty standard anime sort of eye, right? So he goes up and kind of curves over a little bit. Like so. Okay, so this sort of very flat sort of eye like that. And then his eyelid will come down at the back, just here. So very thin sort of eyes. And then we'll bring this over the bottom and up in towards his tear ducts, just over here, like so. You could maybe thicken up the top eyelid just a little bit, just to make it stand out from the bottom. Kind of that kind of thing. And then his iris, so he's got a half sort of circle just here, like so. And then his pupil just here, just right up against the eyelid, because his eyelids are like covering the top of that iris and pupil. So the other eye, so we're not eye distance, so we're going to start about here, okay? So in My Hero Academia, the eyes are too big, right? So you could probably fit half of an eye in between here, okay? So whatever his eye is, about half of it should be able to fit in between his eyes. They're closer together, so not in proportion, not standard human proportion, okay? So we'll go up and then bring it across, again like that. You can thicken it up a little bit and add like a little line coming off there, and just make it a bit thicker, that kind of thing. Doesn't have to be exactly the same as the eye on the other side, remember that. And then the back, just there, and then this will come over up into there, and you just want them to be roughly about the same height. Doesn't have to be exactly the same height, of course. And then his iris, again, just in here, curves down, comes up, like so, sort of a half circle, and then his pupil, just in here, cut off by the top eyelid, okay? Right, so details around his eyes. So we've got like an eyelid line coming across here on both sides. Okay. And then sort of a top sort of eyelid line here. Comes across, giving that sort of droopy eye kind of look. Just there. Same on the other side. Doesn't have to be exactly the same, of course. But roughly the same type of thing, okay? Just coming across here. And then his eyebrows, so they're kind of underneath his hair. So yeah, I'll wait till we do the hair, and then we'll add some eyebrow underneath. Just so it'll save us rubbing out things and erasing things. So he's got those bags underneath his eye, right? So stitches, I guess we gotta do stitches first. So okay, stitch here, right? Underneath, and then you could do like one here as well. Okay, just underneath his eye, and then the bags will grow out from this, go up like this. I'm leaving a gap just for the stitches, just because I won't need to erase them then. But you could just draw join that, make it a full U type line if you didn't want to do it the way I am. Like so. And then in each one of these gaps I'll do a stitch. Like this, just kind of rectangles, like so. You don't have to be too precious about it. You know, depends on your style, I guess, what you're going for. Like this, they all don't have to be the same. You just want them to go in these gaps, like so. And then there's like some eyelid lines underneath here. Like that. And like a couple coming down like underneath here. You could go crazy detailed and do loads in here. Like in the manga, there's like so much detail in Dabi's face, especially on the close-up images. But in the manga, not as much. So it's kind of up to you how much of these lines you want to put in. I think I'll leave it there anyway. So just then, a little bit down from where these are, we have the nostrils, right? Just in the middle, one nostril here. And another nostril there. Just in the middle. And then we got some hatching lines just on top of his nose. It's just the style in My Hero Academia. A lot of anime as well do that. I think Demon Slayer is pretty similar, kind of. And then he's got these studs or piercings on the side of his nose. Or freckles, I'm not really sure. I'm sure someone out there knows. So his mouth, right? So his mouth is like stitched together, right? So it's just like a straight line across. Kind of curves up maybe at the edges, right? Like that. So it's his mouth, and it's kind of his mouth, and it's not his mouth. It's got stitches on the side, right? Just here. Like so. Okay, so we'll just do it like that first. And then his chin. His chin is just down here. Kind of a square chin. That. So you can check proportions now and stuff. So we'll go top eyelid to nostrils is about the same as nostrils to chin. Okay, and whereas bottom lip would be here to here is about the same as bottom lip to nostril. Okay, approximately. So they're your proportions for his face. When you get them, you could do the jaw coming up the side. Okay. And you want to stop just under the corner of his eye here, because that's where we're going to change direction. Right, under the corner of his eye, and you change direction and go up the side of his face. Okay, just about there. So then we go up, up the side of his face. Like so. Okay, so here up to there, right, like from the edges, corners of his mouth up to the top of that jaw, he's got stitches and a line sort of stitched together, right? So we're going to go line, it's going to go up this way. You could draw the line first and then do the stitch, but I'll just do it this way. Line, stitch, line. So we're going up towards here. Stitch, line, stitch, and then final line just goes up, joins up there. Okay, I mean the same thing pretty much over here. Line, stitch, line, stitching, line, stitch, line, stitch, and then up side of his face. And then we got some stitches that go down right down the center, so like 4 of them, kind of rectangular. And I think some of them, there might be like a vertical line coming down between some of them. Just there. Okay, and then there's like texture lines on this as well. So like some lines coming out here. Coming out the side of each stitch, just to show that it's like actually pressing into his skin. You know, it's not just sitting on his face. It's actually distorting the skin. And then we got some lines that come up the side, so like this kind of stuff. So you can be as detailed as you want, or you can just suggest things, which is what most animes do, because when they're animating characters, they don't like to put too many lines and things like this, because it's a nightmare to animate it, to make it move and stuff. Okay, so we'll go for his fringe, then his ears, then his eyebrow. So let's go. Yeah. So just at the side here, spike. Another smaller spike coming up this way. And one coming down right beside his eye, up there. This one comes down over his eye, back up. Yeah, like that. And then we got a couple of spikes that go diagonal this way. So back. And of course you can erase any lines that are underneath the hair. Or some enemies leave it. And I do know that like some enemies leave it, the lines that you can see underneath, because it's easier. Line there. And maybe another one just here. Back up. Like so. And then another one there. Just touches the corner of his eye there. And then this will go up. Kind of curve into here. And like so. Back up. And then down along his eye, back up to there. And then we'll bring this down towards his ear on that side, towards his jaw. Maybe like add a spike line there, just for good measure, and then this comes up like so. Like that. So that's like his basic sort of fringe area, right? So there is a couple of hair spikes that's like stick over his ear on this side. I guess I'll draw them in. So one there. Say here, like that. It's kind of a trifecta, 3 of them. And then his ear will come down this side, and he's got some piercings on his ear, it seems. It comes down into his jaw, just there, and the other side down into there. And those piercings, they're kind of round, so like stick off his ear, one there. They're like 3 or 4 on each ear. So one, 2, 3, 4 on this one. And then some like bones and ligament lines inside. And I think his ears are like scarred, burn sort of things as well. So some lines just like this on the edge, like that. And then his ear here as well will have some piercings on it, like this. And then bones and ligaments inside, like this, and then texture lines just on the edge there. Okay, so the rest of his hair is pretty big, right? So it goes right up to the top of my page. So the eyes are about halfway down my page, and then the hair goes all the way up to the top, like way up to the top. So we start with sort of small spikes coming from behind his head. So let's just go for it. Remember, hair moves, doesn't have to be exactly like mine. So the main thing to remember is that they're kind of small down here, and then they're going to gradually grow in size like that. But every now and then you might have a small one, then like a big one, you know, mix it up a little. This kind of thing. And then like maybe a teeny one. Bigger one. This is the type of thing we're going for, okay? Style of his hair. And then when you get up to the top, they start to like spike up, you know? So you're going around kind of like the numbers of a clock, you know? This kind of thing, and then we'll bring it all the way down. The other side. So I'm not really worrying like about it too much. I'm just sort of making them spiky, I guess. I'm going around real big. This, and then we'll go down in towards his ear. Like so. Then his neck. Dabi has like a real long neck, okay? So it comes down like that at first, and then it's going to curve this way. Oop, bit bumpy there. Okay. And then we have a shadow under his chin. Just in here. There's like a neck muscle line coming down this way. And the shadow comes down here as well. Like so. Okay, so let's see. So we've got his sort of jacket, and then we can see the hand on this side. So I'll do the jacket on this side, right? So it just like comes down, sort of down this way, in behind here. Same like this, and then it's kind of ripped and torn and stuff at the back, so it comes out from his, you know, from his back like this. I'll just go down the front, right? Like this kind of thing. Similar on this side. So you're just using scraggly sort of lines like that, okay? And then his collarbones will be sort of down here somewhere. So I would say here. Go off the page. That way you could have another neck muscle line. And this is all textured, sort of like his jaw, okay? So it has like all these sort of lines on it as well. So when you just sort of add them where you feel they'll need them. Like so. Okay, so before we do his shoulders, we'll just do his hand, right? If you want to just do the shoulders, you don't have to do the hand, of course. Just finish his shoulders coming out this way. What I'm going to add is his hand with the flames coming out, right? So his wrist just comes up from my page, just the bottom of my page just comes up here, right? The other side will come up this direction, okay? And then we just kind of have a bump for his wrist bone, just here. And then the bottom of his hand comes up and around like this. Okay. So the rest of the palm of his hand will come up here, and we might have some like bumps for skin just on the edge of his hands, just there. And then we'll go up a bit further on this side, and we'll have the first knuckle turn just there, right? And then maybe some like lines for here, and then we got some stitching, so coming around, so like here, so like we stitch here, stitch there, because he's got some skin grafts with lines in the middle of them as well here. Okay. Just going to add some lines just around those stitching, just to show that it's actually growing out of his skin. Yeah, so like just like one or two things like that, maybe something similar. Just there. And then like some hand bones just come in here, and maybe like some wrist lines just here. And of course Dabi again has lots of that texture stuff coming across his hand. So you're just adding these texture lines. On these sections. Okay, right, so now fingers. So he's doing like kind of this kind of a move with his hand, okay? So we can see the thumb at the back. We're like looking at it maybe like this. So we've got two fingers sticking up here, right? So this comes up. Like so, and then we turn for a knuckle. So we're going to turn. Up and then down for a knuckle, right? This is the index finger, and this finger is behind his middle finger, right? So that's your general shape for that first side. And then we're behind this finger, so we do a line curving down that way. Hands are difficult, so take your time. Artists used to charge extra for hands, like back in the Renaissance and stuff, because they were so difficult, because it took so much time. Knuckle curves down, and then this long finger comes down like so. And then we're going to turn for another knuckle. So you've generally 3 knuckles in your finger. 1, 2, and then the one that joins the hand right here. So like this thing, you know. And then, right, so his finger comes up, around, curves around the top. So then we'll bring the fingers down just the back here, so we'll go down like so. So like these are the sort of segments of your finger. You know, these sort of segments here, 1, 2, 3 of them. And then the next one, so it comes down. He's kind of got long piano player's fingers. Down like that. And he could have like a knuckle line coming across here. Maybe something here. And a fingernail just in there, okay? We'll add like a finger knuckle line. Right, so then the next finger is kind of curved over, so like these two are curved over, these two are sticking up. So we'll go kind of like bony curve line that way. Maybe knuckle curving over this way. Like so. And then this will come down that way. And then the other side of this finger comes down here. So we can't really see the tip of this side of the finger, right? Might be knuckle line or 2 there. And then the little finger just comes up here and then curves over like so. And then we go down so. And then side of his little finger comes down, joins the hand just down here. Like that. And you could have like another skin fold there. And we can just maybe see the back of this finger going in behind it then, just there. And we've got like a segment, skin segment just in there. And we can just see the thumb on the other side of the hand just sticking up in the middle here. You might have some knuckle lines on his hand, like this kind of thing. Like that. Okay, so then the flame. So you can basically do whatever you like here. You can like do it as big or as small as you want. So this sort of nitrous sort of flame, some of it like, you know, just like oozing out from his fingers. You could do a massive big one if you were into bigger sort of flame, but I like the subtlety of this. You know, just sort of like spilling out of him. I must say Dabi in My Hero Academia is I think he's my favorite character design, right? Definitely of the villains. Character personality, yeah, he's a cool backstory. I won't spoil anything, obviously, but definitely the coolest design, in my opinion. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but can't think of a cooler one. There's people screaming right now. What? I know. I'm being divisive. Sorry. So then the shoulders. Can't see this shoulder because it comes behind the hand. But this one will go sort of down that way. Maybe a bit further. Does he have wide shoulders? Not really. We'll go down here. And maybe like some lines. Hatching. Lines like so. Okay. Do a bit more. Do a bit more of the flame, I think. Yeah. I'll leave it there. How to draw Dabi using his blue flame. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.